Deep in a cozy cottage, tucked away from the prying eyes of the world, there lived a little boy named Toto. Now Toto was a curious lad with a mop of unruly brown hair, eyes that twinkled like distant stars, and a heart full of endless wonder. Every night before his eyes grew droopy with sleep, he would press his nose against the cool glass of his bedroom window and gaze up at the vast expanse of the night sky. "Oh, how I wish I could ride on those fluffy clouds," he would sigh dreamily, tracing the paths of the constellations with his finger. "I bet there are all sorts of magical things to see up there." Little did Toto know that his dreams were about to take flight and soar higher than he ever imagined. One particularly still evening, as the sun had dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, Toto was gazing out of his window when suddenly he heard a gentle tap-tap-tap at the glass. He turned around to see an ethereal breeze waltzing through the open window, its gossamer wings shimmering in the fading light. Did you just speak?" Toto asked, his eyes wide with astonishment. The breeze rustled the curtains with a giggle. "Indeed I did, young dreamer. My name is Zephyr, and I bring a special invitation from the Cloud Carousel." "The Cloud Carousel," Toto echoed, his mind filled with questions. "What's that?" Zephyr twirled around the room, creating tiny whirlwinds in her wake. "It's a wondrous contraption made of spun moonlight and stardust, where each cloud is a mount, and every cloud tells a fantastical tale. Would you like to take a ride, young one?" Toto didn't hesitate. Yes, I'd love to," he exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement. And in a blink, he found himself whisked away from his bed and hurtling through the open window. He tumbled end over end through the air, laughing joyfully as he went. As he soared higher and higher, the familiar sights of his world shrank beneath him until they were nothing but tiny miniatures. Then, like a magnificent steed born of moonlight and stardust, the Cloud Carousel appeared before him, neighing softly as it dipped and swayed in the gentle breeze. It was a carousel unlike any he had ever seen before. Instead of horses or chariots, there were billowing clouds in whimsical shapes, each pulled by a creature of pure imagination. One cloud was shaped like a giant ice cream cone, its tip licked clean by a fluffy white kitten. Another resembled a majestic lion, its mane flowing in the wind as it pranced on air. And then Toto spotted it, a cloud shaped like a sturdy rocking horse, its tail swishing enticingly as it moved up and down. "That's the one," he cried, scrambling aboard. As he took his seat, the rocking horse neighed softly, and the ride began. With a jolt, they shot straight up into the star-studded sky, leaving the other clouds and their riders behind. Soon, Toto was surrounded by an enchanting sight. Fluffy white clouds stretched out like a soft carpet beneath him, and the wind whispered secrets in his ear. As they glided through the celestial expanse, they passed by fantastical realms. They flew over a castle made entirely of cheese, where mice in top hats and tails scurried back and forth. They zipped past a field of musical mushrooms that sang and harmonized as they swayed in the breeze. And they soared above a river of molten chocolate, where marshmallow boats drifted lazily downstream. Through it all, Toto gasped in awe, his laughter echoing through the stillness of the night. But as the journey continued, the joyful atmosphere took a sudden turn. The once vibrant sky grew dark and stormy. The jolly tunes of the Cloud Carousel faded into an eerie silence, and the clouds around them rumbled ominously. Just then, a wise old owl with feathers the color of moonlight swooped down from the gloom and perched on the back of the rocking horse. "Who are you?" Toto asked, a little frightened by the owl's solemn expression. "I am Nimbus," the owl replied in a deep, resonant voice. "And I'm afraid we have a problem. One of the stars has become separated from its constellation, and without your help, it may be lost forever." Before Toto could ask any more questions, the rocking horse picked up speed, hurtling them through the turbulent clouds towards a distant glimmer of light. When they emerged from the gloom, Toto's heart skipped a beat. Before him lay a vast expanse of twinkling stars, each one winking merrily from its place in the inky black canvas of the night sky. But there was one star that was notably absent, leaving a gaping hole in the constellation's formation. "That's the missing star," explained Nimbus, pointing with his wing. "We must reunite them before the darkness consumes all the light." Without a moment's hesitation, Toto knew what he had to do. With newfound determination in his heart, he reached out a hand toward the darkness, hoping to catch the lost star before it vanished completely. But just as his fingertips brushed against the cold void of space, a mischievous imp popped out from behind a nearby cloud, chuckling gleefully. "Not so fast," he cackled, darting away just as Toto lunged for him. The game of cat and mouse continued for what seemed like an eternity, weaving in and out of the star-studded sky, with the imp leading them on a wild goose chase. Exhausted and disheartened, Toto slumped down on the rocking horse, feeling as if they might never find the missing star in time. "Don't give up, young one," boomed a voice from above. Out of the corner of his eye, Toto saw a radiant blue butterfly with shimmering wings that sparkled like sapphires alight beside him. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice filled with wonder. "I am Luna," the butterfly replied, her voice like the tinkling of bells. "And I'm here to help you on your quest. Close your eyes and hold out your hand, little dreamer, and I shall guide you to the lost star." Toto followed her instructions, and in a flash, he felt something land on his palm. When he opened his eyes, he gasped. In the palm of his hand sat a tiny, yet radiant star, pulsing with celestial light. With the last piece of the constellation now in his possession, the imp's tricks no longer held any power. Toto reached out and touched the constellation, mending the broken pieces and filling the void in the night sky. As the final star settled into its rightful place, the sky erupted in cheers. The constellations twinkled with joy, their light cascading over Toto like a shower of blessings. From the depths of their gratitude, they bestowed upon him a gift, a single glowing feather that shone with the combined light of 1,000 stars. "Oh, wondrous beings of the night!" Toto exclaimed, his voice echoing with awe. "Why have you given me this?" The ancient spirits of the constellation shimmered before him, their voices mingling in harmony. "This feather is imbued with our starlight," they said, "and it shall grant peaceful dreams to any child who holds it close." With the mission accomplished and the gift received, Toto felt a pang of sadness knowing that his time in the magical sky realm was coming to an end. He hugged Nimbus the owl and bid farewell to Luna the butterfly, promising to never forget his incredible adventure. Then, with the feather clutched tightly in his hand, he climbed off the cloud carousel and tumbled through the clouds, landing softly on his bed, back in his room. As the first rays of sunlight peeked through the curtains, Toto awoke from his slumber. He sat up in bed, clutching the glowing dream feather close to his chest. As the feather glowed brighter, filling his room with soft, ethereal light, Toto knew that his night in the whimsical sky realm wasn't just a dream, but a magical adventure that would forever hold a place in his heart. From that day on, whenever Toto gazed up at the night sky, he could spot the constellations twinkling just a little brighter, as if they were winking at him, sharing a secret only they knew. And whenever any child in the village had trouble sleeping, a gentle breeze might carry the soft glow of the dream feather into their room, ushering in peaceful dreams and magical adventures of their own. And so, deep in his cozy cottage, Toto continued to dream, knowing that the sky always has room for one more dreamer.